Hey everybody, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It is the weekend, March the 8th, and I hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. This, of course, the weekend video. We'll take a look at what happened last week, do a quick review, and then we'll take a look ahead and see what we got coming up. It was a volatile week last week and probably more to come, so let's get down to it. Okay, so let's start out as we always do. We'll take a quick look at what happened last week. Lots of volatility, just as I had predicted from the previous week. The on and off tariff news really leaving investors and traders feeling a bit uneasy. Markets certainly do not like uncertainty, and neither do companies. So we're still getting a lot of uncertainty in that area. Meanwhile, other markets around the world have continued to rally. Money seems to be moving out of the U.S. markets and into areas or markets and countries that have been really underappreciated or certainly not marked up as much. And so money flowing into what people view as some better value. So German DAX near all-time highs or is at all-time highs on some stimulus plans. And Hong Kong's Hang Seng surged to a 3-year high. So as someone says, there's always a bull market somewhere, and there's certainly bull markets, but it's not in the US right now. So you can see where all the indexes finished. They're all down on the week. Small caps taking the biggest hit here. Only sector that managed to finish in the green this week was the healthcare sector. Financials, consumer discretionary, which keeps coming up, especially the discretionary stuff. They just keep losing money as it's probably felt that consumers are really going to start to cut back on their discretionary spending in the sight of uncertain times ahead here. So 2-year pretty much flat on the week, 10-year up a little bit. A dollar was really down this week, and again that sort of a reflection of where money is flowing out of and where money is going into. So US dollar taking a bit of a hit this week, and Bitcoin not really much change. I mean, we've been up and down quite a bit, and last I looked we were settling around 86,600. So that was your week in review. There was probably a lot more to talk about, but I tried to keep it short and sweet. So before we move on and take a look at some of the indexes, a quick mention for my books on Amazon, available in all formats, audio, electronic, and of course hard copy. There's my How to Swing Trade book if you want to check out how I approach swing trading. There's Profiting as an Active Trader, which is a little bit more in-depth examination of trading and approach to trading. And lastly, my How to Trade Options book, which is a fairly recent edition, and talks about how to trade options, both day trading and swing trading and position trading. So if you want to check those out, they're on Amazon and available. And so now let's move on and take a look at some indexes. Okay, so let's start out by taking a quick look at some of the indexes here. I like to start out with UVXY, or some indication of what the volatility looks like. And you can see here we've been really creeping up over the last couple of weeks as there's been a lot of volatile action in the market with the layoffs, tariffs, and a whole bunch of other stuff that's sort of keeping the traders and investors a little unsettled. It's been great for day trading, but maybe a little bit more difficult for swing trading in the last couple weeks here. So you can see we haven't really spiked up since this December high here. And we are at an elevated level, but still really no indication or sign of real feeler in the market. As you can see here, that's areas were really spiked up here where there was some significant fear. But again, the selling has been more of a as much as a buyer's strike as a people willing to sell here. TLT, you can see the price of the bonds are starting to drop again as sort of fears of future inflation creep up as maybe some of these tariff actions start to kick in, and reciprocal tariffs, the price of goods possibly going up, reigniting inflation. That's the big concern right now. Dollar, you can see really the dollar really took a hit very hard this week, really dropping significantly against primarily the yen and the euro. Again, I've mentioned those markets, those European markets and some of the other country markets around the world are really starting to find some interest. They've been rallying over the last couple of weeks, and sort of lack of or less interest in U.S. stocks and the dollar. So interesting move here. The Qs, again, we are in a downtrend, and I was going to show something here. The indicator didn't show up. The 200-day moving average. So I just quickly added that on there, 200-day moving average. You can see here, this is the 20 and the 50, and we've definitely rolled over here, 20, using 20 as really as resistance as we keep going lower. And you can see here, we've dropped below the 200-day moving average, which is what a lot of technicians look at. This 200-day moving average is a real sign of kind of major correction happening. And we're definitely down there. We tried to rally back Friday, couldn't quite retake that average, but for all intent and purposes, we're right there right now. Let's take a look at the SPY as well. Again, good, the 200-day moving average still up. You can see here, we did actually dip down, but came back, managed to recapture it at the end of the day. But we are really flirting with this 200-day, which is pretty significant. We haven't been seeing that level for probably years. Taking a look at the Dow, again, Dow's held up a little bit better. Still not quite at the 200-day, but we're kind of down into an area where we hopefully will see some support. You can see that was kind of the low Friday around 422, getting again very close to that 200-day moving average, and potentially more downside if we kind of pierce it, because you can see here there's some support here, and that's kind of aligns with where the 200-day is right now. So maybe the Dow could be in for a bit more rough ride if we don't get a nice rally. And of course the IWM, it's never been performing as well as any of the other indexes, and we're well below this 200-day and really just struggling to hold on here. There's some support right in around where we are right now, based on sort of low here, but swing low here, but 200 is entirely possible if we continue to sell off. And let's just check out Bitcoin, where it is right now. It's around 86,000. So again, kind of President Trump had the big meeting, the crypto meeting on Friday, and really the market didn't really respond. The crypto market didn't respond the way I think a lot of people had hoped it would, and it's continuing to struggle here under 90,000. So that's where we were with the indexes. Okay, so let's review some of the things that happened last week. I mentioned in my previous swing trade video last weekend's that I had bought some Amazon and some Meta going into the close on Friday, previous Friday, not last Friday, the previous. I was intending to sell it on Monday, and that's exactly what I did, because you can see here, there's Friday, we gapped up on the Monday, and I sold Amazon as well as Meta as we started to open the week in the green, but then quickly turned to red there. So you can see here we had this nice little gap up, and that's what I was anticipating. And then another trade, I traded Tesla, day traded Tesla almost every day this week. Some great, even long and mostly short opportunities. But Tesla has been a really great day trading stock. Volatility really good, and you can see here again, it actually did gap up on Monday as well here, but then immediately sold off, and it's been selling off. And again, I've been short this. I was short through this drop here. I did manage to cover, or I did cover it week before last, but again, I just don't see a good reason to hold Tesla. And you've got beginning of the month, another couple of weeks, we'll get delivery numbers from Tesla, and I think it's going to be another unattractive report. So I just don't see any big upside with Tesla right now, but no position. And lastly, TD. TD, I did say I was still holding some. Earnings report coming up, so I decided I'd do the right thing rather than what I did back here. just did the right thing, as what I normally like to do with my swing trades. Don't carry them through an earnings report. And I got out last week, and there was a drop here Wednesday, and then it sort of has come back up a bit. But again, got out of TD before that earnings report, which is what I like to do. And that's kind of it. So let's talk about some potential setups for next week. And you're going to find this list is very low. This is not a great environment to swing trade in, because there are just so many news events that are coming out that are having an impact on the market. It's really hard to tell day to day, or what's going to happen over, what could happen during the day even, that could affect the market, with all these different announcements and initiatives coming from various countries. So right now I'm only focusing on a couple of stocks here. PLTR seems to continue to be a big favorite among traders and investors. You see here, we are right down into an area where there has been sort of prior resistance, which of course became support as we've come back down here. And we do seem to be holding this sort of 79, sort of 80 area on the, can even say even higher, maybe 83. But PLTR still seems to be a favorite, and they still seem to be supporting it, above 75. So could be an interesting long trade if we do start to get some rally back here. Uber's been quite interesting. The market, the amount of selling has been happening. Uber has really been holding in there nicely. So you can see sort of same dollar number, sort of in the 72 to 74 range. I've been kind of keeping an eye on it for a while. I think this is this Uber stock, there's a lot of potential upside for it as well. So I'm thinking that as long as it kind of holds in this area, this could be a good opportunity for a long trade if we do get going here, as well as some of the other ones. But I just thought I'd focus on these two while things are fairly volatile. So that's kind of what's on my watch list for next week in terms of potential swing trades. And like I said, it's not a big list because of the environment we're in right now. Okay, so let's wrap things up here for the week of March the 10th. What do we got coming down the pipe here? There's your levels on the Dow, Q, SPY, and IWM. We did break through some support that was previous in all those indexes. So again, we're sort of readjusting our downside support and also resistance coming down as well on those indexes. As far as economic events go, we do have nothing of note Monday. Really the interesting stuff will be Wednesday, CPI data, signs of how inflation is going. Everybody's expecting a little bit of a drop there, but we'll see what happens. PPI, and then consumer sentiment. Of course, this has been kind of a focus lately because people are concerned, investors and traders are concerned about what the sentiment looks like out there, and it seems to be dropping significantly. As far as earnings go, it's going to be kind of an interesting. We've got a couple of retailers here, DKS and Kohl's. So they're on Tuesday morning, and then we've got Adobe after the close on Wednesday. And of course, we've got DocuSign after the close on Thursday, and a Chinese EV maker on Friday morning. So a few interesting earnings, but not a lot, as we've gotten through the bulk of earnings season here. So that's it, everybody. Remember to turn your clocks forward on Saturday night. And we'll see you 1 hour earlier on Monday morning, or same time, but an hour earlier from now. So, and of course, we always start out our pre-market show at 8 o'clock, and you can check us out live on YouTube, or for our members in the room. And then, of course, trading the market open at 8:30 and 9:30. And it's going to be another wild week. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you hopefully Monday morning. Bye for now.